Today, for the last time for me, we diving into one of the most controversial webs of connections surrounding none other than Diddy Combs. We talking from bodyguards to industry insiders. Man, we about to unravel a hidden network that could change everything you thought you knew. It's your boy M to the A to the R, cause I'm on the mic. Let's go. Welcome back, my peeps. If you're new to the channel, here we break down some of the most and not so much talked about topics that go behind the headlines to get the real story. So folks, today this video is going to be my final deep dive into the Sean Combs situation, well, at least for now. There's so much information out there, and then while some of it may seem far-fetched, some of it even a little spooky, but overall I would say it's just plain disgusting at this point. Now, I spent some time connecting the dots, and these are my dots, these are my connections, and I leave it up to you to decide what's real and what's not. But trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have a whole new perspective on what's really going on behind the scenes. Plus, I got a serious warning from an insider, so stick around to the end and check out what he has to say. Now, let's get started with the newest person on the panel. That is Courtney Burgess, or as he like to say, Courtney B. Now, this guy came from nowhere, in my opinion, but since that's the only name we have, then we must go by that, right? Now, here's why I say this. He did an interview not too long ago, about a month ago, I would say, on a channel called Too Strong. Shout out to Too Strong and all the good work he's doing over there. But I'll link that interview, the full interview, in the description of this one, so you can see the whole thing without my out my commentary. Moving on. Now, in this clip, he's explaining the scene when the feds came to his home and whatnot, and how everything went down. But what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to pay close attention to what he said about his name.
They come in to get the tapes. They got the tapes, so it's not going to say what's on the tapes because they don't know what's on the tapes. So you're not exposing nothing except that they raided your house. It's just like how you telling me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real, like you telling me this, but then you saying that I can't show the search warrant because that I can get in trouble for that. But
the search warrant said Courtney Burgess, right?
Okay. Now you heard him say what the paperwork had on it. Now listen to what he said after the host presses him on the authentication of his claims, trying to put some meat on the bone, so to speak. Check this out.
The federal warrants, I have access to through my PI. I got access to the search warrants, all that different kind of stuff. I can just make a phone call and get it. And I'm gonna just be honest with you. I did search because you said that you weren't gonna show your copy. So I wanted to get my own copy so they couldn't say, hey, he showed his warrant and it had been on me. I showed it. But we didn't find anything with your name on it. No search warrants.
You don't even know my name.
Yes, I do.
What is it?
Well, unless you lied to me.
No, I didn't lie to you. What is it?
You lied about your name?
No, but what's my name?
Courtney Burgess.
That's my entertainment name, my brother. That's not my. You understand?
Yeah.
That's not my mother and father married name.
Yeah. So okay. So you got a entertainment name.
You see now, you done fucked up. Don't you?
You see, he's the person who initially led me down this rabbit hole, y'all. And of course, I heard from Jaguar Wright and Eugene Deals and this young lady named, I think her name Allie, who speaks very convincingly about her childhood experiences and with Sean Diddy Combs. Plus, there's others out there that has testimony. But I first came across Courtney B on the Lionel B show first, and then I seen him making his rounds, on all the different platforms. Now, I would say in full disclosure that Lionel B on his show said that he did see the paperwork, but he didn't specify what the name was. But what caught my attention was he started coming off as the guy that had the Diddy tapes. And like I said, at first glance, it just seemed like a normal thing. But after watching Too Strong, he started dropping some names, and I want y'all to check out these names that he put out there. In this next clip, shout out to Too Strong, but like I said, he mentioned two connections. And those connections led me, like I said, on this road. So when he was pressing him on the allegations, this is when he started trying to validate who he was, and all of this came to be. And check this out.
Wrong for doing this to a 60-year-old person, giving them alcohol. So I do. It ain't like I'm biting my tongue or whatever you think with the flash drives, why didn't turn it? See, I grew up in different place. I grew up in Velsburg. It was a block called Southwood Avenue. I'm not gonna say the family name. You couldn't walk past that block if you was black. They had their own social club like Sopranos outside. So when I'm dealing with these people, I'm dealing with other people who ran Michael Jackson protection. I can't be saying just throwing stuff up like people think that we're supposed to do. You understand? Everybody got a different world, different life.
Now this is where things start to get a little interesting for me. You know, him mentioning the Michael Jackson security guard, and it got me thinking. So I started doing my research, and I stumbled across, a couple articles here and there. But apparently it was this, he was Michael Jackson's former security guard. And he ended up testifying back in 2011 during the Michael Jackson trial. But he also became Sean Diddy Combs' head of security. And to sum it all up, I found a clip on this gentleman where he was being discussed on this show called Redacted. And that kind of put a stamp on it. And anyway, I'm going to play the Redacted clip where they're going to be talking about this particular individual. So check it out.
Muhammad, and this very odd purchasing of property at the southern border, right along the southern border wall, right next to Tijuana in the town of Boulevard, which, as we talked about on the show yesterday, no one would buy property at that location unless you're a criminal or you want to be involved in some sort of cartel-related organization to traffic people across the southern border. That piece of it seems glaringly missing right now. What do you make of that?
First of all, anyone who hasn't seen your episode about that from the other day should go watch it. I had speculated a little bit about Faheem Muhammad and that property side of it when I first started investigating, but I didn't find that news clip that you guys found. And that really puts it into clear, obvious, like in your face perspective. Because Faheem Muhammad, if anyone doesn't know, Faheem Muhammad was Michael Jackson's head of security when this guy was like in his early 20s, straight out of college, which is already a huge red flag. And as soon as Michael Jackson died, he gets promoted to being the head of Diddy security for this blackmail ring, which means he's overseeing all this criminal activity. So clearly his background is not the business and real estate degrees that he got at college. And him having this other side of his business, which is this property purchasing, he's like gifting acres and acres of property to his 14-year-old son, which just sounds like tax write-offs and money laundering to me. It's clearly, it's on the southern border with the southern border wall there. It's a big enough piece of property that it could easily be used for human trafficking. And I've spoken with other journalists on the ground in the San Diego area that are reaching the exact same conclusions and even going a little deeper. So I'm still tracing those threads. But to me, that speaks to connections to much bigger things in the industry and to a much bigger network, because not only is the real estate, the human trafficking, the minors, all of that's missing from the current indictments, but also any mention of the hidden cameras and the alleged video blackmail operation. That is also missing from the indictments. And those are the two aspects that tie this most directly to an Epstein-style organization. And
I know, right? Now, while this story, may seem unrelated on the surface, somehow or another it still ties back to Sean Combs' network. And then, like I said, we'll explore that a little later, but I wanted to give you that. Now, as I dug deeper into these connections, I came across an individual, an investment group called Oasis that was created around 2019. And primarily they deal with real estate, and overall it seems like their theme is reshaping the black community, and it seems they're doing good work. But what really caught my attention was the Oasis Group was also not just tied to Sean Combs in some shape, form, or fashion, but it's tied to a religious group, the NOI, and the NOI is the Nation of Islam. Now, Revolt TV, which was owned by Diddy, partnered with Oasis Group back in Chicago. And check it, man. This is where things gets a little complicated for me. Oasis had deep ties, and it's at first glance it's coincidence, but like I said, it takes part of a larger network that raises more questions. All right, let's get into this Jaguar Wright and Big Meech connection. All right, now, if you're not familiar with Jaguar Wright, all you got to do is go to YouTube, search her name, and your algorithm will be infected with everything that she got going on. And so you can quickly get caught up to speed. But in summary, she's been vocal about her experiences because she was involved in the music industry. And she called out several high-profile celebrities, including Diddy. Now, in one particular interview, she mentioned someone named Big Meech. And the long story short, Big Meech is not the Big Meech from BMF. What she's referring to is a gentleman by the name of Demetrius Sr. And how I know that is because when she was on a particular interview, everybody was jumping up and down about she's gotten Big Meech involved. As you can clearly see, man, I'm going to show you a clip where she's going to show the screen. And like I said, she said it herself, that was Demetrius Sr. And this is interesting because Demetrius Sr. has ties with Death Row and Tupac. And from what I understand, those ties and everything went deep. But Demetrius Sr. played a key role in some of Tupac greatest hits. Hit 'Em Up, I think Toss 'Em Up was one of them I saw. But his son played Tupac in the Biop film. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. It ain't who you think it is. Now, what do all of this mean? Well, when I uncovered a web of involving bodyguards and investment groups and ties to the nation, you got to start making smarter decisions about what you do and don't do. And I remember on this last video, I was watching, I believe it was Cam Capone, and he had Big Homie CC on there. And Big Homie CC is a former bodyguard, and he don't mess around from all the research that I've been able to pull up on him. But he had this to say about the Sean Combs situation.
I know what's coming after this. So, I see people like Jaguar Wright. When have we ever seen the details of a federal indictment be sealed? They got the details sealed on the indictment. Have we ever seen this? So what does that mean? There are people on that indictment that, if it comes out, a lot of things can get crazy. Like I didn't just up my catastrophic life insurance policy because, I know what's coming after this. So, I see people like Jaguar Wright, people like that, and other little people. I've been at war with these people for years. Me and the guys, the Goulas, the clique members, we've been at war with these people for years. So, I hope other people know what's coming next, because it's not just gonna end here. So, I'm really in war mode right now, bro. So, it's about to get dark. So, everybody who coming out, I hope y'all know what's coming next. So you better be on your P's and Q's.